few years, I've gotten obsessed with the idea of loneliness.
We're all in this together.
Slowly seeing all your best friends like pass away. So coming to school shooters is a fun stat.
It sounds fun. Sharing a secret with someone is one of the fastest ways to form a connection.
Like, what do you think about that Aman guy?
If we're really soft, can we just go into the mic and say something about Aman? What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Having Said That show. I'm your co-host Adi alongside Jay.
What's up, guys?
Back to HST Unfiltered. If you guys don't know what it is, it's a segment presented to you by Tokai, where the boys get a little emotional, get into our feels a little bit. And today's topic is brought to us by...
Hey, man. A little more enthusiastic, bro. Come on.
No, this is something I've been wanting to talk about on the show for a while. And I think Unfiltered is the perfect opportunity to bring this up. And this sounds quite sad, but there's a point here. Over the past few years, I've gotten obsessed with the idea of loneliness. Okay. And I read this book that I keep going back to. It's a graphic novel called...
Yo, just say you read comic books, bro. Like, don't call it a graphic novel, bro.
A graphic novel. And it's called CQ. And it's advertised as a guide to American loneliness.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was living in the States. I was away from a lot of my loved ones at that time. And I saw a lot of my friends going through the same thing as me when we were there, which is like inherently American society is awfully individualistic. And I saw the toll it was taking on me and more like clearly on the people around me.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to talk about this, because I think there's a lot of like layers and facets to this that are often not spoken about. And in this book, there's a stat that by 2030, loneliness will be considered an epidemic in America. And, you know, I want to open it up to you guys. I want to hear about your experiences with loneliness, what you think loneliness is, and how it's just affected you in your day-to-day life, but also in like the bigger things and the bigger decisions you've made. Because I genuinely believe a lot of what we do is driven by our inherent need to be a part of something bigger.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think like one of like the basic needs of humans is to have like a community around you and people that you know, like to see every day or whatever. And yeah, I do agree with you. It does get lonely when you're on your own in college. And I know that's something you wanted to touch on for the pod as well.
I mean, to you guys out there, the reason I got into podcast culture, started watching some of my favorite podcasts, was when I used to feel lonely in college. Put this on, kind of felt like, you know, I was in the room with people. And that's honestly what we've tried to do with this show ever since we started.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you guys just are freshmen in college and you watch this show and it gives you comfort through the day, like that means more to me than anything.
Even if you're not in college, honestly.
Yeah. Just if you use this to make your week slightly better.
Yeah, it's cool because when I was in lockdown, I wasn't really lonely, but it was just like with me with podcasts as well. I used to watch a super like outrageous amount of Joe Rogan in lockdown, and it was just there in the background. You know what I mean? Like it was just playing on repeat or whatever. But I don't know, Aman. I think
So what's crazy about this book, and you mentioned the lockdown, is this book was being written before the lockdown. And then obviously like
lockdown happened
and we were forced to be lonely. And a lot like, you know, we had the opportunity to be at home or be with people or whatever, but a lot of people didn't. And you're just stuck alone for months on end, right? And there's this line from the book that really stuck with me, which I think is the best definition of loneliness. And I want to clear this up right now. There's a difference in aloneness and loneliness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what this writer says, her name is Kristen Radke, for anyone who's wondering, is that loneliness is a variance that rests in the space between the relationships you have and the relationships you want.
Yeah.
She says loneliness lives in that gap.
Oh, for sure, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
So-
you could have many friends, but still kind of like be lonely.
Yeah.
That little speed bump that you have to do is so hard. Have you all ever had
I'll
to
tell
do
you
that?
why that speed bump exists is because like in school, right? And you're kind of together all the time. So being friends is like natural, right? Because it's like out of sight, out of mind, but the reverse of that. Like you're always with these people. So it's kind of easy and it's kind of, whatever, to like form bonds, and you go through the same experiences and everything. But when you go to college, eventually wherever you settle down, whether it's here, whether it's abroad, there is that learning curve of like, okay, how do I make new friends?
Yeah.
Right? And that style of making new friends is entirely up to you. You can make a conscious effort to do that, or you can just kind of let it happen.
It's also very exciting because you get to rebrand who you are. Because everyone else kind of is like, okay, are these this person? Your family will also think of you like that. You get to rebrand yourself to new friends, which I find kind of nice. Like, they have no idea who I am, and I can be who I feel like I am right now.
Exactly. Like, imagine Aditya's chilling with his new friends, and like someone like puts the AC off, and yeah, it's cool. And also what I find is that you, like, the older you get, the more you find yourself making friends with people of similar interests. Like it's much more interest based than personality based sometimes.
Yeah.
At least it starts off like that, right? Like you're into the same shit, or you think the same way or something. And that bridges the gap a lot of the times until you actually do become friends with the person. It's like, okay, this dude has similar interests as me. Let's fucking go, right? So to speak to your point about being alone and not being lonely, in COVID, I was staying with my friends for 3 months, and then I went to Canada for a month. In the middle of that, I had 2 weeks alone in quarantine. It was like one of the most fun periods of my life, bro.
Yeah.
Because I was completely alone. I didn't speak to anyone or do anything. I mean, of course, on the phone, I used to speak to my parents, my friends, or whatever. But I never felt alone. You know what I mean? Because my friends would call me, I would call them, I would FaceTime people. I was kind of, just comfortable.
I'll tell you where it may get risky is like a lot of people love being alone. Like
I would not extend that 2 weeks though. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
I was,
What happens is they kind of make this lone wolf kind of like their brand. Of or like, I don't go out. Like I just sit at home. I don't really like to party. And then that can lead to loneliness. So you can choose aloneness, but it can lead to loneliness.
I don't know. I disagree, dude. Like maybe that's just the kind of person you are. You don't.
Of course.
It's not like.
I'm saying you might fool yourself sometimes.
Yeah, you know what, bro? I think no, he's right about that, because I've been in that position where like I'm a pretty introvert. I used to be a pretty introverted person, and I feel like I used to actively hate like going out. The key word is actively hate going out. Like I put it inside myself that like, fuck all this shit. Like I hate going out. I hate clubbing. I hate whatever. And it's only after like, why do I need to? I see these people all the time. Why do I need to do all this stuff? It's only after you experience that dislocation from your friend group or from school or from the people you regularly hang out with. It's like, this is how people maintain relationships. You have to initiate at least 50% of the time, bro. Like, I mean, you should be initiating friendships. You should be wanting to go out. It's actually something I learned from our good friend Com, shout out Com, where it's like, you can't only work and not, have a social life. Because if you do enjoy what you love, like if you do love what you do, like this podcast, for example, and you just only make it about the podcast, you don't go out, you stay inside, you stay with, and I'm guilty of doing that as well, and that has its place, but then it becomes very one-dimensional.
Thank you.
I actually want to echo what you said about like choosing to be alone and then ending up lonely, because she again writes in this book about how she used her own independence to hide some of her flaws. Like she was scared to allow herself to get too close to people, and she thought it was like, oh, look at me, I'm so like aloof and I'm doing all these things. When in reality, she sort of reflected on it and was like, oh, I just didn't want to give them the chance to know the real me. And what you said about moving back and like not having a group, I felt exactly the same way, because I lost a lot of people who were close to me in that time, mainly my grandparents. And I saw how them suddenly being alone, like the ones who were still around, affected them. And that really struck me, because like, then what, like what happens when you're in a 50, 60, 65 year
That's one of my biggest fears, is like growing up and like slowly seeing all your best friends like pass away or something. That's fucking scary to think about. Like think about it, bro.
I have not
One
thought
of
about
us
it.
is gonna have to go through that.
Thank you guys.
Like either you or me will have to go through that.
And then what? Literally.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Just go in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, boy.
Bonnie and Clyde.
So
Oh man, that's crazy. Trip to space?
Trip to
Trip
space.
to space. That's how we go.
But so there's this other thing about society, which you said about the lone wolf, where society tries to paint the man in solitude, the man without any roots.
Yeah.
You know, the Western hero,
Yeah.
the Batman, the Superman,
Anti-hero kind of.
all these
Not
people
Superman,
who are Superman, Fortress
Well,
of Solitude,
yeah, that's true.
literally,
Yeah.
where you're away from connection as this
Mm.
like strong, the person you want to be, this man of mystery.
Mm.
When in reality, it's like outrageously detrimental
Yeah,
because
for sure.
scientifically, one of the worst things you can do for yourself is isolate yourself from people. And I know it's often not like,
What?
What was that bit in? It was a comedy special. There was a bit where it's like the worst thing you can do to like a prison inmate surrounded by murderers and thieves and just the worst people on earth basically is take them away from those people and put them in solitary confinement. You know, so
Yeah,
like
that's
even
the harshest punishment.
yeah, like even that level of
Yeah.
a shitty community is enough to keep you more sane than if you were completely by yourself in a room.
so
That's crazy, bro.
I want to shout out Jay's favorite show, How I Met Your Mother, because there's this unbelievable episode. It's the Minnesota tidal wave one where Ted is in the bar.
The
Yeah.
longest time episode.
Yeah,
yeah,
and then at the end of it,
man, that's crazy.
he's
bro.
alone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that is like one of the rawest emotional moments in that show.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
And it's really interesting that the sitcom does this because one of the things that propagated loneliness was the laugh track. The laugh track was designed
Yeah.
to make you feel less alone. Again, a fact.
Really?
You are 30 times more likely to laugh when you're in a
Yeah.
group setting.
Of course.
Yeah, because it's the vocalization of humor, right? Otherwise, you'd probably just be
Dude, even like, have you watched something you find funny and then watched it with someone who also finds it funny and
Yeah.
you all just die
Yeah,
laughing?
yeah,
So much
yeah.
funnier. And the thing is, the ideal life, especially in America and somewhat in India as well, is the picket fence. You're literally boxing yourself away from people. And that was the American ideal for years. And that's why you look at all these. When I go to like an American suburb, I feel there's like this weird sense of dread in me. There's like something so eerie about it to me because you're
Oh,
so.
really? I don't feel that. I feel
I-
like the picket fence is, yeah,
it's
it,
more for like
it prevents you from your neighbors and stuff, but I like the
What's
setting
inside
of the
the-
family.
No,
inside
of
the
course
picket
that's
fence,
fine.
bro.
But I'm saying like that whole thing, I don't know, it's always given me like at night, especially when like it's darker and there's like silence on the street. No, I'm being dead
it's
serious.
like Michael Jackson and suburbs for Aman. He's scared of both
No,
of them.
there's something terrifying about it because it's so quiet and
Yeah.
so alone, and you're so stuck in just looking at these lights and windows.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about like, I mean, your adolescence? Did you ever feel alone? Because when I was going through my like teenage years, I definitely had, I mean, obviously everyone around me, but I also was in my own little bubble of
Yeah.
life.
Think,
You know what I mean?
There's
Like,
this teenage angst.
yeah,
that
no,
you-
not even angst. Like you wake up, you do the same thing, you're with yourself the whole day. You go to school, then you go to tuitions, then you go to the gym, then you come home. It's like your own little traveling group, and it's just you with different like groups of
Yeah.
people. And at the end of the day, you come home and you're just like, oh man, that was a long ass day. Do it again next time, you know? And I felt that way maybe towards like the end of my schooling career more so, because it seemed like everyone that I knew was figuring things out before me.
So
And it was one of those things where, you know, Aditya was doing music. One of our other friends was a math genius. A couple of my friends, well, most of my friends kind of knew the fields that they were going into. And it was pretty isolating because I never wanted to be a part of that conversation of like, you know, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I was just like, aha, let's talk about fucking farts or some shit. Like, I was always trying to steer the conversation away from anything serious or anything meaningful because I was afraid that I didn't have anything meaningful to say apart from, I don't know, just like the regular shit that was going on in my life.
So you know the thing is, and I think this is the main issue. We've been lucky and privileged that like
You've been lucky. I've been grinding, bro.
Wait, before you move on, Sid, you wanted to say something?
no, I think what I wanted to say, and I think it's what you were going to say anyways, is that we are the book you mentioned. It's about
Yeah.
American loneliness,
yes,
but our culture, the way
Yeah,
we
it's
have
very
grown up,
different.
is so much more different. Which
Yeah.
is why we should be glad for that. You know, like
But-
we
Oh,
grew
I
up with
agree.
each
I
other, with
agree with you.
cousins, with
Yeah.
family, with.
So what
Yeah.
more specific than that is, I think we've been lucky that we've always had the opportunity to be able to reach out to people who care about us
Mm.
and not feel lonely.
Yeah.
So that even when we do feel lonely, the reality is it's because we are disinterested in making an effort to connect with people.
Mm.
Like even when I was in the US, if I was really sad, like I was never really, I mean, I lived with one of my best friends. Like I went and met my friends. Even on like my bad days, I could FaceTime my family. I could FaceTime my girlfriend. You know, I could reach out to people. And there are a lot of people who can't. And even in India, there are people who can't be their real selves. And so they can live in this big
Yeah.
family,
Mm.
but they can still feel so lonely because there's always someone like judging them or
Mm.
on them.
Yeah, of course.
And then you can't share that with anyone.
Yeah.
Mm.
And this is a really sad fact, okay? But it really struck me.
Oh my god.
Every highly prevalent disease that kills,
Yeah.
every terminal disease,
Yeah.
is likely to kill you faster
Mm.
if you are lonely.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure. I
No,
Yeah,
this is
of
not
course.
like
I don't think that's
an
surprising
opinion.
at all.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
no,
I don't
yeah.
think that's surprising
Yeah.
at all. Who
And-
said this?
It's just like depressing because it truly shows how dangerous this can be. And I think, you know, I love animated movies. Those who know me know I love animated movies. And I think as we grow older, we become a little cynical about these children's films,
Mm.
which I don't think they are, because it's like, oh, haha, the power of love and the power of family, and yes, that's going to solve the world. And we look at these movies
Yeah.
and we see it like that, but it's a far more powerful statement.
Yeah.
And when I realized this was when I stopped looking at it as the power of love,
Mm.
but instead as the antithesis to loneliness.
But don't you think that love is the antithesis to
That's
loneliness?
what I mean.
Yeah.
As in,
So-
it is. I
but
mean,
it's a different perspective. It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
it's not as
it's not as playful as the love
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
think love is
It's
when
not
you're
as-
12
it's
years
not
old.
as
Yeah.
brush offable. Like
Yeah.
oh, it's just love. Yeah, Aryana.
I was actually thinking loneliness is not the absence of love, right? In the sense that I feel loved always, but I also feel lonely. And in my moments of loneliness, I think I'm really different from you guys in that way that I don't feel like when I'm really lonely and when you're really down, I don't feel like reaching out to anyone. And of course, you want people to reach out to you, but how will someone reach out to you?
Mm.
Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. And I often I get really scared to reach out to people and be like, hey, I'm lonely.
How do you find yourself getting out of that state of mind?
I think it's just phases. Like you just have to get yourself out of it, but it's a whole process.
I agree with you, and I think I'm like that also.
Yeah.
But y'all don't actively try and do like I'm not saying anything, but like in terms of like I don't know, journaling, meditation, going to work out, meeting friends, like is that what gets you out of
like
it?
distractions, maybe. These are distractions. I don't know if they are solutions.
So you know it starts off as a distraction. Like for
Yeah,
example,
I mean
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
distractions
for
are
example,
solutions.
like let's say you work out, right? And if you're feeling super lonely, let's say you start working out, right? And you're kind of depressed and you're alone. You start working out, and then you have these. It's a distraction at first, yes, and then you start to have these small victories during the day that
Yeah.
add up, and then you're just like, okay, shit, I can maybe, if I apply this mindset to getting out of bed, making my bed, making breakfast, eating the breakfast, going outside maybe for a little bit. It's those kind of small wins that
It's
add up
momentum.
a little bit.
I
And
agree.
it's just momentum, bro. I feel that for
Make it till you
sure.
make it.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like a lot of it is just that. To what you said, Aryana, I have realized, because a lot of my friends are spread out, right? And I have a lot of friends who I do love and I do care about. What's easy for me to do is not sit and wait for someone to be like, yo, what up? If I hear a song that reminds me of them, if I'm even, dude, it's the easiest thing to do for me now. If I see something funny or if I remember something funny that reminds me of a particular friend, I'll just straight up message
Oh,
them.
dude, me too.
Yeah.
Like it's
I
just
do
one of
that
those.
also.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's
random.
such a easy thing to do because it's so easy to do. You're not fucking
Yeah.
write a letter or something. Like if I listen to a song that Aditya and I jammed out to like 5 years ago, I'll take a picture, I'll send it to him. I'll be like, yo, sick one. Even if it's just that, and he'll be like, haha, yeah. Dude, that interaction alone sometimes, let's say he's going through a bad time, that interaction alone is probably gonna get him.
Yeah.
Dude, just getting a
Some
phone
kind
call
of,
with like I thought of you is one of the best feelings
Yeah,
ever.
maybe
bro.
maybe not to that
Yeah, dude.
extent. I do all the time.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Definitely, like if I remember like a funny joke or something funny happens, I'll just text the person. I wouldn't even say that I thought of you or whatever. I'll just be like, yo, what up?
Can I just say, sorry, based on these points and all of these points, I know it's really tough to reach out, but I want to say this to the viewers at home. If you're down and you're feeling like this, and if you have someone you can reach out to, please do. Like, please send that message. Please, like, make that effort, because it's only going to be, I know how tough it is. Like, I was in the same spot when I was in the US, but it's like so fucking beneficial. And I know it's tough. And I think I'm going to link some like resources in the description for this episode as well.
And Sid's newsletter as well.
And Sid's newsletter. But if you need some help, like, reach out. And it's like the toughest thing in the world, but if you can do it.
Some people may find it easier to reach out to strangers. So if
Yeah.
you want, you can even write to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Write to our newsletter, to
Yes.
us. Anyone who reads it will respond. Like, we will never ever.
I think the cool part
Yeah.
about having a podcast is that I know how I listen to podcasts. I know how you listen to podcasts. It is also a very, very cool way to be a part of a conversation if you aren't in the position to have one yourself.
Yeah.
So if you guys feel like you've enjoyed the show or whatever, DM us, bro. Like, we'll just chat it up.
Yeah, literally.
You know?
I just want to shout out a great album, which I know we both are fans of.
Yeah.
We're all alone in this together.
Yeah.
Please listen to that if you guys have
Absolute
the
hit,
time.
bro. No, but the other thing,
We're all in this together.
I had a personal experience talking about reaching out, and when I was in the UK, I went as a shy kid also. Like, if you remember me, before I was a really shy kid, and the thing that I thought was that, you know, okay, should I make an effort to talk to this guy? Does he want to talk to me? Does this person want to talk to me? But then I realized that they are in the same place also. That was like, he's also come here from his country. He's also alone. He also doesn't have anybody. So yeah, like that just made it a lot more easier to reach out. So if you do think that you want to reach out, maybe sometimes think that they are in that position,
Yeah.
they'll understand you better.
Yeah.
So that could be a way
Yeah.
to.
And that applies to our peers as well so much. Because it's like what you are going through, like you said, he's in the same position, he's doing the same thing. Whatever the variant of that same thing is, they are still in the same phase of life, or more or less, the majority of people
less,
your
yeah.
age will be in the same phase of life as you, which is a cool way of thinking about
Yeah.
it also. Right?
It doesn't have to be age. I mean, you and me can be
Yeah,
in the
of
same
course.
phase also, even though we
Of
are
course.
like a
Bros.
million years apart.
Wise words.
Yeah, honestly, bro. I feel like once you get past 21, it's kind of all the same up to a certain age. You know what I mean?
Not 21.
I mean, it depends.
but
It depends.
Yeah.
22, 23.
Okay, I don't know if this is fully out of the conversation, but once a therapist told me
Oh my god.
that no.
I don't think you should share this information.
Once a therapist told me that if there was a man who grew up on an island all alone, he would never experience loneliness.
Oh.
yeah,
Does that-
that makes sense because I don't know
Yeah.
actually, because he's never experienced people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But there's also the other thing. And I'm a big fan of Yuval and Sapiens. So he says that having a herd or a tribe around you is ingrained in our DNA. So
Yeah.
we, like, since whatever, like millions and thousands of years, not millions, thousands of years. So I don't know actually how much I agree with that, because
The way
it's an
society
ingrained instinct
develops
also.
is like by having a tribe believe in something like a religion or a moral code
Yeah.
or something like that. You have to societally agree
Yeah, exactly.
on like a manuscript.
Yeah,
or
and
whatever.
you know what? I feel like maybe this dude on the island, maybe he has some animal friends. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he has some birds that he fucks with a lot. And if you take him out of the island and put him into a fucking city,
Yeah.
maybe that'll be lonely for him, because he won't have the stars at night. He won't have the sea.
He
in
won't
the
know how to
morning.
communicate
He won't
with
have
people.
the trees around him. That's his community. Your environment also is your community. If you
Because
take
you-
me and you put me in Alaska, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. You know what I mean?
you
Like,
you you you,
it's-
you
it's a
can
big
imagine
thing.
like if you take him and put him in a populated city and he sees people exactly that look like him cluster in groups and have fun and laugh, and he's like, bro, why don't I have that?
No, not
He's
even
gonna
why-
start feeling.
But maybe he will.
Yeah.
That will be some aspect. But maybe he'll feel a little lonely about himself. Like, as in, maybe he'll miss his island boys or whatever. You know?
Right. I was going to say actually that he's on this island, he's alone, he doesn't feel loneliness. What I think the point of this is that loneliness at the end of the day is just a feeling.
Yeah.
And like all feelings, it comes and goes and it passes.
Okay, Aryana's on that Sigma grind set vibe right now. Loneliness is just a feeling, bro. Get after it. Wake up at 5 a.m.
No,
work
no,
out.
no.
Do your shit. You know?
In like the best way, what I mean is like it'll pass
Yeah.
Yeah.
eventually. So I feel like
I do have something to say to that.
yes.
you gotta make it pass as well, bro. Like if you are just lonely and you're just like, okay, this will pass, and you don't do anything about it, then maybe it won't pass.
Dude, honestly, I think that
Like, you gotta-
mindset of it'll pass is also a lot.
Yeah.
You know, like
A lot.
getting to that mindset of this will pass
Yeah.
is a lot.
But also you have to have been through a lot of cycles to have that mindset of it'll pass.
yeah.
Like you have to have been lonely, then actively tried to get out of it and been like, okay, now that wasn't that bad. And then that cycle of self-improvement and dealing with your specific problems. You're like, okay, this is a similar problem that I've had. This is how I fix it. I run, I journal, I go for a walk, I work out, I meditate, I work out. Like that it'll pass thing. It's an active feeling that you need to have based on you wanting to get out of that position. Because if you just stay in bed and you're just like, I'm lonely, no one's checking up on me, and you just stay in bed, maybe it will pass, maybe it won't.
Again, I think we'd be amiss if we didn't say that. Like, I think we have the privilege of even thinking that it'll pass because we can come
Yeah.
to groups.
Yeah.
There are people who, however hard you try, don't. And we might have to do a trigger warning for this episode, but like, think about like all the school shooters. Think about people who think there's no route to go on. Think about people who like join detrimental cults or do things that hurt society because they crave being in a group, because they've been ostracized for so long. For those guys, sometimes it gets to a point where it can't pass. You can't wake up, go to the gym and meet your friends. You can't make these connections. It's an unfortunate reality of the situation. And I love this stat. This is a more fun stat from the book. And it goes back.
have all been the most sad stats.
So coming to school shooters is a fun stat.
This one's a fun one, and it goes back to the whole island thing and what Sid said about the book Sapiens. So humans, we like biologically have a terror of detachment. And I don't know how true this is. You might be able to brush this off, but there's an anthropologist who's done a lot of research, and he believes that humans develop the spoken word to gossip because gossiping is the fastest way to bond and the most effective way to bond with people. So while primates wash hair and shit, sharing a secret with someone and being on the inside of that secret is one of the fastest ways to form a connection.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that Aman guy? He's kind of
You know,
Gossiping
if we're really soft, we just go into the mic and say something about Aman.
Aman has been showered for
We'll have a
5
secret
days.
with you guys.
I'm being bullied.
No, but I completely
HR.
agree. Yuval talks about that also. The need of humans to gossip is so
Yeah.
primary. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we started the Aryana gossip segment.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Because
sir.
of Naval.
That's why Aryana is so important.
But something that we can do, something we can all do is just like, to your point, you said some people don't have an option or whatever. You can just automatically assume that and just kind of ingrain it within yourself that it's like, okay, I don't know what this person is going through. Let me just be nice.
Yeah,
That's
empathy
like
is
maybe
so
the
powerful.
least.
What was
maybe
your-
that's
what was
the
your
least
stat?
we can do?
The
What was
gossip one.
Oh, the gossip.
It was like a
More of a
fact.
fact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a fact. My B.
Here's
guys.
an interesting stat. Most school shooters, when they do go on their rampage, start with killing a maternal figure. So either their mother or their grandmother.
Man,
That's
And it
crazy,
stems
bro.
from their, either maternal dissociation or
Yeah.
something like that.
you said, here's a stat so happily. That was such a downer. That was such a sad
I was matching your energy with the stat.
That's what you guys have been doing all episode. Here's the stat: loneliness kills far more.
So, okay, I want to keep it on loneliness, but what is some of the most lonely feelings ever to you? Because I'll give you an
like
example.
an experience that I've
Like an
had.
exi-
I have
experience that I've had that's you don't think about it, but it's just the fucking worst. Is especially during lockdown. Have you ever been on like a FaceTime call or like a group FaceTime call or like on call with all the boys or whatever, and you're just chatting shit and ha ha ha, the room is filled with laughter, and then everyone cuts, and then you're just sat there.
Oh no,
Looking
that's
at your
never
screen.
what?
No.
Has like when you say
that happens to me,
you
but
say
not with
bye,
FaceTime.
whatever FaceTime on like Fortnite or COD or whatever on Zoom, where like or even like when I was in LA and I was in Boston or whatever, we'd be on call or whatever, and she's like, okay, now I'm going to bed, and I'll just be, and the room is full of laughter and you're connecting with someone, and suddenly you're just sitting alone.
Yeah.
Bro,
yeah,
that shit-
I guess.
Yeah.
But then you have the conversation.
Chill out.
You know what I mean?
Bro,
If you
we'll
wanna
leave
hug off
the we'll
camera.
leave the Zoom meeting last, okay?
Or leave the Zoom meeting first.
No.
That's true. Wait, they're like, okay, Aman, good night. Wait.
I get it. It's the feeling after the call is over,
Oh.
and then suddenly the room is silent, and you realize you're alone and not with anyone else.
Oh.
It's
One of the more light-hearted, loneliest feelings ever is
Is there a light-hearted, lonely feeling?
there is.
Fun one.
When
you kill your mother.
Okay, what's happening is playing into what I'm gonna talk about, which is the lighthearted, lonely feeling of starting a story again and again to the point where people just lose interest, and at some point you're just talking to like no one.
But there's always that one
I've
person.
The one
I've faced
person.
that.
Yeah, you're right.
In my life on this podcast, I said
Yo,
that like 3 times.
shout out Kia. Kia's always that person for me.
Yeah,
bro.
how's that person?
But shit, I forgot.
Same person who waits for you to tie a shoelace.
Yeah. But like, I mean, you know, guys, there's also ways to be happy when you're alone. I feel like if you are in a community also, if you are valued and accepted and you feel that way, it's also good to take some time off from the whole thing and just recharge and reset. And there
No,
is
of
a
course.
superpower almost in being alone and being comfortable with being alone.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So I feel like it is a very like important tool to have in your arsenal of like being okay with being alone, because you have to be able to figure out who you are individually before maybe you can fit into a group setting. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where you put the oxygen mask on yourself first before helping anyone else out. Because if you are damaged or lonely or whatever, you might not be able to give 100% to other people. You know, so that's where I was coming from with that.
Dude, on the point of being okay to be alone, I have an interesting story which I want to put out, and then we can end the segment with that. But I think before that, Aryana, you're leaving us alone.
Yes, I'm leaving, but you are not alone because you live in my heart forever.
Thank you. See you next week, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay. See you guys.
See you.
Bye.
See you.
Bye. Enjoy, huh?
And let us know what it is.
Yeah.
I know what it
I
is.
will.
I vote
What
for
is
the
it?
escape.
I'll tell everyone after you leave.
So everyone will know before I know.
So Aryana's going for a surprise for her birthday that she has no idea what it is.
Yes, sir.
What do you?
Bye.
I know what it is. I know.
Wait, it's a surprise for your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just a surprise in general.
Yeah, but like for my birthday.
Bye.
Bye, bye, Rihanna. Gotta make sure it's actually gone before. It's like a glass blowing glass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
Nice.
Some girl shit.
There's this.
Make a fucking wine tumbler or something.
So yeah, there's this interesting story. If y'all have, if you're aware of, there's this island in India. It's called the North Sentinel Island.
Yeah.
You know about that?
Yeah, of course.
And it's essentially this tiny little island in the Andamans, and the people. There's a small tribe of people living there. These guys have been living there since like thousands of years, and they've not had any connection with anyone from outside that island.
Is it the same people who killed that?
Yeah.
Oh, shit,
At
that's
some point, if
crazy.
anyone from the mainland wanted to go and find out and
Yeah.
research, they just don't allow anyone to come. And there are these random images of these few people. And I don't know. That's just a story of how these guys have been that island. They've been alone. They've been there, but they are happy also.
Yeah.
Like they don't want outsiders coming in. They don't know the outside world, and they're very happy with
but
that.
they don't know the outside
don't know.
world, but they instinctively know that we want no part in it. Like we want zero.
I mean, you're afraid
to
of what you don't know. And now that we're ending the segment, I want to bring it back to the book. And so the book is called Seek You, and you should read it. Great graphic novel. But the reason it's called Seek You is that on the old truck radios, the call sign with the letter C and the letter Q was the code to ask if anyone was out there. So you'd pick up your radio and you'd say CQ, and if somebody was on those airwaves, they'd say whatever, I'm here, and they'd acknowledge you, and you'd write it down on your card and stuff. And a good way to wrap up this segment is when you feel lonely and we are imploring you to reach out and send out that CQ call,
Yeah.
what we want out of this is for you to miraculously hear a voice back. And in that spirit, if someone else is letting out that call and someone else is asking, is anyone out there? Make sure that you make them know that they're not alone. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got goosebumps, bro.
CQ, bro. I guess we're all truck drivers in some way. Trucking through life.
Okay, so guys, to to lighten the mood a little bit, we asked all of y'all on Instagram to send in something that grinds your gears because we are truck drivers.
Hey, I like how this started.
So
Before we go ahead, Jay, I want you to imitate Peter Griffin. So we got this inspiration from the Family Guy Peter Griffin episode where he goes on camera and goes like, you know what really grinds my gears? I want you
so
to do
you're
it.
Peter Griffin being lonely. He's talking to Quagmire Joe, and he's coming out as lonely.
Hey, Quagmire. I've been feeling a little lonely at times. And I just feel like there's no one to talk about. We didn't talk to this about.
Okay, and how does Lois respond?
Oh, Peter, you're never alone with the family. Oh, fat man.
Oh, sick. Nice.
You have never been more alone in your entire life until now.
Chris.
Oh, Dad. Dad,
Awesome.
I don't think you'll ever be alone.
So I feel like before we open up to the fans, is there any particular grind my gears that you guys have?
I did have a good one, bro. Man.
So let's just move to the fans then. 'Cause, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Aman, what's the first one?
These are two different people who've submitted this, but I think they go hand in hand. Slow walkers and slow talkers.
Oh,
And we'll shout out Pooja Shah and Kia Andrews.
Yeah, slow walkers suck.
yeah.
Like, they suck. Okay, have you ever been walking up or down stairs and like it's a two-way stairs, so you can't really pivot and move ahead? And this one person is just insistent on having the slowest walk of their lives, bro.
Like they'll step on one step, then get their other leg on
Oh
that
my
step.
god,
then
bro. That is some whack shit. Ever just
Yeah, at a point you
push
just want to trip them
the
down.
stairs, bro.
slow talkers. I haven't met that many slow talkers.
I've
I've
met
met
a lot of-
convoluted talkers.
I've met a lot of slow talkers,
Ooh.
bro. There's a lot of slow talkers.
Okay, but how do they talk slowly?
it's just one
You know,
of those things.
The thing is that
I would add slow eaters to this also, bro. Slow eaters.
Oh, don't hate on slow eaters.
yeah, but that's,
Nah,
a, good,
nah,
that's a
nah.
good thing though.
There's
Slow
a
eating is a
community
good
of
thing.
slow eaters
Bro.
out there. We need to digest our food,
It's
and we need
good
to
for your
have-
health, but societally it's annoying as shit.
No,
bro.
I think you know what? Slow eaters are very. See, that's the thing about slow eaters, man. If you're a slow eater, what's up? Shout out to slow eaters. If you're a slow eater, you're very conscious of the fact that you're a slow eater, and maybe you won't eat in public as much. Like, I don't eat in public as much just because I know the amount of food I want to
not
eat
that
and
slow.
the time.
Bro, there's
trust
a lot of
me,
people
bro.
that are much
Dude,
slower.
trust me, I cannot have dinner with my family. As in, like, I cannot finish it. I have to take it to my room and like finish it off. Like, I literally, they're like, oh, this fucking guy, like whatever, and I'll just be like going to the room with my food because I take like another hour to finish it. You know?
That's the polite thing to do.
No, it is. I feel like slow eaters don't really hold you hostage
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way slow talkers or slow walkers do.
That's not true.
not
No,
being
but
held
if
hostage.
you're so polite that you're like, I'll sit with you and wait for
That's
you to
on you,
finish
bro.
your move. No,
No, I do
Bro,
that, bro.
No,
because
that's
I
on the
would-
slow eater.
No,
then.
because I would
on the-
actively resist. If you told me that, I'd be like, dude, fuck the
no,
fuck
no.
off.
I can
do something.
You can
else
say
fun,
that.
and
You can
I'll
say
come
that.
back
Imagine
with
we're new friends in college. We're in the
Yeah.
cafeteria. You get a meal, I get a meal. I'm done in 10 minutes. You're fucking taking half an hour.
you. Yeah,
Like, bro.
But if we're new friends, what are you gonna do after? We're still just chilling, right? We're
Maybe
just
that's
having,
why you were a bit lonely.
We're just having.
No, but slow eating doesn't bother me because I actually think there's an ancient charm in just sitting and having a meal with someone.
This guy.
Yeah, if you fucking enjoy the person,
But-
yes, bro.
No, but even
Of
like in
course,
general,
dude, obviously, like you gotta enjoy the person's
Yeah.
company to even be eating with
a
them,
meal
bro.
with
Who
them.
are you
Yeah, yeah.
eating
Slow
with that you
eating
don't
I'm
like?
okay with. It's like slow talking. What I hate when someone is like, sometimes telling a long winding story is
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
but sometimes someone like, bro, I gotta tell you this. Like, imagine what happened, and then they give a whole fucking lecture, and by the end of it, you're like,
It's
bro,
ironic that Aryana isn't here.
no, I'm not. This is not about Aryana. Because Aryana is usually like in jest or whatever. There are people who like has to tell you something important and then give you their whole fucking family history. And I mean,
You know, the first time I met
To the
Aryana to get her on this show, we went for a walk. It was a 50-minute walk.
Yeah.
First 45 minutes, she spent telling me her history. 5 minutes, we spoke about the show.
like Aryana, fine. I think we've bullied her enough about this. I mean, like, and hers like, oh, she's telling us whatever, you know. But like, literally, there are people who are like, bro, I gotta tell you something, and you're getting like anxious, like, what are they gonna tell you? So yeah, then you know, my mom was like this, and you know, my mom was like this because of that, and then because of, and you're like, arey, okay, I get it. Now just tell me.
I'll tell you
pisses
what
me
grinds
off,
my gears
bro.
to that point. It's like when someone just texts you with zero follow-up, zero context, out of nowhere, we have to talk.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Refuse to elaborate.
Bro, my friend did this
What
to
do you
me.
think I am, bro? Like some stoic Buddhist? Like,
It's
bro, it's
like,
one of
bro.
those things where it's like, about what?
Yeah.
Like, am I okay?
Yeah,
Are
that's
okay?
all you care about, right? Like you're just like, no, of course.
Are you okay? Am I okay? Did I do something that I'm going
No, but
through?
the first instinct is like, have I fucked up in any way?
Yeah,
If not, then it's okay.
Bro.
That's what it implies, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's what it
Sometimes you don't
implies.
even know if you fucked up. Like they
bro,
think you fucked up, but
when
you
I
haven't.
send
So
that
true.
text, when I send that text, like if I call Aditya, I'm like, yo, dude, I have to talk to you about something. First things first, everything's fine. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm chilling.
same.
This is just something I want to talk to you about. That is how I would want to be approached in that
Yeah.
conversation, bro.
Literally.
Like, don't just text me, I have to talk to you about something, and then not reply for like the next 5 hours, bro.
My friend did this and she was like, oh, I need to talk to you about something. I was with you when this happened. I don't know if you remember. We were going back from the shoot. She was like, I need to talk to you about something. I got mad. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, all of these things. And I was like, just tell me, message me. She's like, no, we'll do a call later. We'll do a call. Don't do that shit. She's like, we'll do a call. Bro, for 24 hours, this girl didn't fucking
Are you
respond to me.
serious?
Yes.
Damn.
And was it serious?
Something
though?
so stupid.
Oh, that's fucked
And
up.
it
She
just
wanted to fuck with you.
Ru-
for sure,
no, bro, just ruined my day. She was like, oh, sorry, I was playing tennis. Ha ha ha. So I can't. And I was like,
she wanna fuck
why
with
would
you
you
for
do
sure,
this?
bro.
Why would you
You know,
do
people
this
who
to me?
say like, text me when you get home.
Yeah.
It's very sweet. It's very sweet. But in a situation where something bad happens,
And you
Yeah.
don't get the text?
yeah, you don't get or like they just go to sleep and they forget. Do you really like wait for that text? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you've texted someone who text me when you get home, I'm assuming you've said that to someone that you have a really good relationship with.
Yeah.
So they would usually always text
Yeah,
when
they
they get
would.
home.
For me, it's
You know
one of
what I
those,
mean?
hope you're doing well. Call me if you need
If you need anything.
Shut up, dude. Like, if I need you, if a random person tells you that, dude, like someone, if you're sick, if you're unwell, and like some random person, like, oh, take care, call me if you need anything, you're not gonna call that random
Yeah,
person.
yeah,
You're gonna
yeah.
call your mom, dad, whoever.
Yeah.
20,000 people before that person.
Yeah.
So
It's more of an empty gesture.
It's a fake
you ever go and
attitude,
do
yeah.
that though? Like, you
You'd
ever,
rather
like,
not do that.
Just to fuck with them, just be like, yeah, I'm having some bowel movement issues. Can you come here and like plug me up or something?
Yo.
Moving on.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna.
What's the next one?
Yeah, we're gonna move on.
Yeah, moving on. Yeah.
So, oh man, so yeah, we had to shout out Swara, who sent in some 20 responses. Thanks a lot.
Damn,
Damn.
dude.
Appreciate the love.
Yeah,
I
speak up,
can't
bro.
read all of them out, but I'll pick maybe one or two. So you know what really grinds my gears is when my glasses get foggy due to the vapors of hot milk.
Very specific scenario. Like I hate it when my glasses get foggy as well,
Or
but
with
not
the AC
because
of the car.
Because of hot milk.
yeah. How
Okay, when glasses get foggy.
How old are you, bro? You just having raw milk, like
yeah.
put some Horlicks in it or some shit. I don't know, like.
Swara has a few milk-based ones. She also hates when you dip a cookie in milk and it gets pretty wet and falls into the cup.
Oh, that is annoying.
Her word's super annoying. Also, she hates when people make like noise while they eat or drink.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is fucking
That is
crazy,
a
bro.
really annoying thing.
I feel like drinking is more acceptable to like make noise.
Yeah, a lot of people hate when I slurp my coffee as well.
Yeah.
But bro, you gotta slurp something.
Oh, this guy, dude.
Is that how you get the tangents of the
You gotta
microfibers
spray.
into the
yeah.
spray or
The spray of
the
every
flavor.
coffee.
Nah, that's true.
And when you're having something,
Effervescence in his.
when you're having something as tasty as Blue Tokai, you want to feel every bit
Hey,
of
that's
flavor.
true. Code
Shout out Blue Tokai.
HST20 for 20% off all your
No,
Blue Tokai.
bro, you always fuck up the code. It's HSTBT20 for 20% off all your orders.
HSCBT20 for 20% off all your Blue Tokai orders.
And slurp that shit. You know what I'm saying?
that shit.
Slurp that well-made product.
So we can use this again.
Someone said, pick me girls. And someone else said, being left on seen or being left on red.
Oh, well, that's just unavoidable, I guess.
Pick me goals. Yeah, I get this, but
Is that a girl who said pick me girls?
of course it's a goal.
I don't know.
Someone's jelly.
Yeah.
It is.
Because if
Yeah,
they
yeah,
are
yeah.
pick me goal,
Yeah, oh.
you and I will love them.
Oh.
Because
exactly,
yeah.
A friend of the show.
Yeah,
She's sent in an embarrassing story.
Bhargavi.
This is from another friend of the show. You might have heard of him. He says, when people wear sneakers at weddings thinking it's cool, come on, have some decorum.
Did you write that?
Yeah, it was.
Dude, I'm gonna say this.
But Sid, you made a typo. You said when people wear, as in.
Oh, Aman,
Oh,
come on, bro.
okay.
Where are you?
No, but like my
That's-
point is,
that- yeah, go.
sorry, my point is, dude, it's an Indian wedding. You're wearing Indian clothes.
Yeah.
Don't wear sneakers on Indian clothes. Come on.
Yeah,
like,
I agree with you. I
like,
think anyway, if you're
go
wearing a
with
suit
the-
as well, you're not gonna wear Indian clothes on a.
Yeah, but I mean,
sneakers.
like
I
those-
don't think
and those,
people are
like-
coming to you guys for fashion advice. You know, that's my
wait,
thing.
Hold up, though. You're wearing,
guy,
you're wearing a kurta and some Air Force Ones, bro. Like, what
If
the
you,
fuck
no,
is
if
up
you
with that,
style
bro?
it well,
Yeah,
it
it works.
can work.
What, you're not gonna wear Yeezys with a
but, like,
kurta,
I'm
bro?
sorry, fashion police.
okay, grinds my gears, dude. Like,
Dude, it grants
like,
my
it's-
gears as well,
yeah,
bro.
no, man.
fucking-
Like you go with the
Yeah,
the
straight
way
up,
it's meant
bro.
to be, yeah.
Oh, you know what else grants my gears? And I feel like I don't feel that strongly about this, but it does grant my gears. If it's a costume party, there's always that one motherfucker who's just like
Not-
above it.
Who's
Yeah.
fuck
Like,
them, bro.
Who are you pretending to be cool for, bro?
Yeah,
like I don't,
yeah.
I don't understand.
No one likes you. No
Yeah,
one.
legit,
No one
literally,
likes you.
You probably don't even like yourself. Which, by the way, CQ in the DMs. we got you, bro. But yeah, it's just fucking annoying, bro. When you don't. I don't know.
I
It's
have
just weird.
a grind my gears that I'll bring up because Sid just made a typo in his thing, which is when
Oh, your and
Sid-
your.
y'all and you'll.
What?
You need to
Wait,
learn
I've
this.
improved.
I've improved a lot more on that. Come on. I consciously type you'll and then I deleted and type y'all.
Wait, what are you advocating for? Y'all? Like,
Y'all.
y'all or
Y'all
you
should
will?
come over.
Is why
You will come. You should come over. Is you will should come over.
I type you'll all the time.
Yeah.
it's
So
wrong.
learn.
Nah, but I feel like
You'll
Y'all sounds so like y'all.
Y'all is Y apostrophe A-L-L.
Yeah.
It's you all come over.
Yeah, you all.
You'll is you
You
will.
will. Yeah, I
know it's
No,
wrong.
Bro, I'm with you on
No,
this.
you do
I
not.
know it's wrong.
I feel like I used that in the correct specifications. With,
No, I've
within
seen
the-
you mess it up, huh?
You know what grinds my gears is grammar Nazis.
I
Yeah.
knew he was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say.
straight up, bro.
I knew he was gonna say. I know.
Bro, maybe
You
just
were
learn
the
how to
worst
write.
motherfucker.
Maybe just understand what the fuck I'm trying to say instead of just being like, it's fucking bastard.
Bro, you're the.
Exactly.
You correct people the most.
No, I only correct you.
Okay, next.
Okay, someone said having to get a haircut for school. Shout out to all the Katori cut victims out there.
Yo, I have a lot to say about this. Okay, I have a lot to say
Hit
about
us
this.
with it.
Schools are overly concerned with hair. Like, I understand if it's messy, it sounds stylish. Got that shit, bro. But I've like had personal like incidents where like I'll meet a teacher and I'll be like, hey, like what's up? What's up? She's like, your hair's too long. I'm like, bitch, why the fuck are you looking at my hair, bro?
I knew you're gonna call a teacher. a bitch.
Started the story. Sid goes, he's gonna call a teacher a bitch. That was amazing.
Every episode, you have to call some teacher a bitch.
No, I'm like,
Yeah, you gotta lay low on
they
that,
get
bro.
they get so nah, fuck that. They get so
Maybe use another word. The B word is a little
it's
harsh.
apt, I feel. I'm not backing down on that. Like
Maybe-
it's one of those things. I can use another word. We'd probably get demonetized.
Move up in the letters one.
No, but like it's one of those things where like they make it a point to absolutely fucking ruin your day because of that. Like if your hair is like if you get a trim on the sides and stuff and you clean up the back, why the fuck do you care how long my hair is, bro? Like
Yeah, have
it's
you
one of
seen
those-
yours? It's
Yeah.
mostly the women who
Dude,
say
that's
it. Yeah.
true. Like down to your shoulders,
Yeah.
not allowed. Show me your nails, bro. Like, fuck.
No,
it's,
dude.
It's one of those. I don't know. See, I understand uniform and being clean and being like cut, whatever. But I get if it's like disheveled or whatever. But if you make it a point to style it or do something with it, why the fuck do you care, bro?
No, it's
I got
discipline.
called.
No, I
got
think the
called
importance
down.
should be more on just
isn't discipline-
hygiene,
Isn't
not like-
discipline taking care of it?
Yeah,
then?
it's
like,
hygiene.
That's still discipline,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It
yeah,
takes
yeah.
effort. Like I got called down to I got called down and they were like, oh, you like football, huh? And I'm like, no, I don't actually. Like then why do you have a footballer's haircut? And I'm like, bro, what are you saying, bro? Like, just shut the fuck up, dude.
One of my favorite subplots is Jay's hatred for teachers.
Yeah,
fucking
really, man.
dude,
Shout out all the good teachers out there who made our life better.
Seriously, shout out all the good teachers out there.
Yeah.
If you're a teacher and you're watching this, I guess, and you're beefing with like a 12-year-old or your mortal enemy when you go to sleep at night is like this 16-year-old that you hate with a burning passion, good luck. And I hope you find happiness. Seek you in the DMs. Actually, no teachers allowed.
Okay. Next, and this is a good one also. I think I've done it once in a while. anytime a person's IPL team loses and they blame it on match fixing.
But it's not just IPL. It's
Or like anytime
football
your
or
team loses,
basketball,
you just blame it on
and you blame it on the ref. Like,
You
fuck
guys-
that, bro.
You guys all know that one dude who's the sports is rigged guy.
Yeah, that's the
You know that dude?
No.
Are you that dude? Then if you don't know that dude, you might
Might be that
Yeah,
dude.
I
Yeah.
feel like I am.
Yeah.
You know, like sports is rigged.
No, I think
Sports are
IPL is rigged. For sure.
it
There's
might-
way too much money and politics and
Bro, it is.
a lot of
players too much to like that. Isn't that the thing though? Like the more you pay the
Yeah,
players,
yeah.
the less they'll be open to a bribe, which is actually why who put up that stat the other day? The IPL was like the highest salary.
Way back when.
The highest the highest per salary games, they pay the players a fuck ton of money. It's like
You
the
get-
NBA and then it's the IPL.
Yeah.
Sharp, really.
Yeah, I will put
Because you
this
don't
up. I'll
pay
put-
that many games and you get paid a lot,
Yeah,
like, on average.
Okay,
per
per
No,
game.
but I'm saying it's like it's so glamorized, it's so hyped up. Yes, maybe in the early years, cool, but they kind of figured out how to change that. It's making so much money. You want it to be legitimate. Pay the fucking players what they're worth, and they will play their fucking hearts out for you, bro.
But-
and that's done. There's no match fixing, whatever. You can probably pay off a referee, I guess, but umpire, my bad.
Also,
But I don't think you can pay off the players anymore, bro. They're getting paid way too much.
I think the
It's not worth
low-
it for them
And
to
they're
fix
rock
games.
stars, bro.
the
These
lower
IPL
tier players.
Maybe the lower tier,
But
sure.
bro,
but
these IPL players are like rock stars, bro.
it's
no,
really
there
tough.
are some lower end players who are
But
not.
then they won't affect the game that much, no?
Nahin,
Or like drop a can.
Yeah, stuff like that.
It's really tough to match fix cricket or football because there's so many
You
variables.
play or
I think
fix.
it's
You
super
can
play or
easy.
spot
fix.
fix.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can
it's
spot
spot
fix.
Isn't cricket super easy to fix though?
No.
Should do a
Yeah.
Right?
You can't fix a match because you can
Not
say,
match, not match.
don't hit a
You can
four.
fix players, bro.
Yeah.
And even like a batsman, like, yeah, sure, you can say, oh, give us an easy catch or something, but the player can still drop the catch. Or don't hit a four, can still nick your bat and go for a four. Like, some of this is just impossible to do. Like, if you can pull that off, you are the world's greatest athlete. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why, like, yeah, there are players who have been exposed for spot fixing, like, oh, bowler, no ball or whatever, because that's something you can control.
Yeah.
But when it comes, or bowler wide, but like, if it's like, oh, don't hit or whatever, it's really tough too.
Sure, let's do one more, Sid.
This is Devika. I don't know something. Like I don't know if that's her surname or not. Anyways, that strawberries look so cute and look like they would taste all sweet, but they taste like shit.
Oh.
Okay, impostoring fruit. I have a
So, yeah, so what is an imposter
Is
fruit?
Devika
Imposter
Adi's
fruit.
alternate?
It's fruit that looks really good. Like, have you ever had a dragon fruit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic, hit or miss. Avocado looks fantastic, hit or miss.
Avocado is not a hit or miss.
It's not a hit or miss.
Hit or
I
miss.
like
No, bro.
avocados,
If you, if
That's
I
just-
love,
that's
I
just
love,
a
I love
bad
all
avocado.
of these.
No, but bro, then you're saying
Yeah.
it takes up a chance. No,
Yeah.
she's saying a fruit that looks good that sucks.
she thinks strawberries in general look amazing,
Yeah.
but don't
They
taste
do
good.
look GMO to be like more red.
I mean, even like dragon fruit is the best example because dragon fruit is sort of tasteless. Like
It's tasteless.
most dragon fruit,
It's the texture.
it has.
You know how Aditya
That's
and I
right.
actually became very close friends.
Oh
Apart
yeah,
from everything else. Fucking grapefruits, bro.
yeah.
Like this motherfucker used to carry grapefruits in his break box, or I used to carry grapefruits.
No, I
in my
used to
break.
carry
You
it.
used to carry grapefruits,
grapefruit?
and then I went and told
Popness.
my parents, I'm like, yo, gotta get on this grapefruit train, bro. And then every single day we used to exchange grapefruits.
All the big pieces. You know, like when you cut down, you take
The
the
big pieces are the best, yeah.
you
What
gotta-
is the-
you
Also,
gotta
it used to
enjoy
look
the
like
chunks.
big chunks of meat. I don't know. Did you ever think of it that way?
No, but I did like the chunkiness of it.
Dude, the
Even take
texture
a
was
big- oh, dog,
amazing.
great
To be
texture.
less lonely with his non-veg friends would pull out.
Doesn't
Yes,
broccoli
sir.
look like bacon sometimes?
Okay, to end it off, what's the best fruit?
Oh, in my opinion,
Oh,
it's
passion
gotta
fruit.
be. Oh shit, really?
Nah,
Like,
dead
what's
fruit.
the best fruit or what's your favorite fruit?
Oh, peach,
What's
peach
your
and
favorite?
passion
What's
fruit.
your favorite?
What's
What's
your
your favorite?
favorite?
What's your
What's your
favorite?
I'm pushing P here, bro.
Peach banging.
Dude, I'm
But
going.
peach, I'll give
I'm
you
going
this.
Mosambi, bro.
But you hated the
Sweet lime.
Mosambi pursuit, dude.
Yeah, but big difference. Big difference.
What is yours?
Although the Mosambi mint does taste identical to Mosambi.
I have
Yeah.
two. Lychee
Can we say that?
and lychee and mango.
Mango. See, that's one of mine too.
Come on.
Lychee is, bro, it has ants and stuff sometimes.
The every fruit has some.
Nah,
in
nah,
it.
nah.
It's
Not
like-
as much as
No,
lychee.
lychee banging.
I
I hate seeded fruits. Like every single fucking fruit that has a seed.
Eat it, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just
no,
eat
like
it.
You can eat the lychee seed.
No, not a lychee
Plugged up.
seed, but like
No, like,
even
what-
that's what I'm gonna call my obscure friend.
dude, like cherries bang,
Yeah.
but each one has a
Okay.
seed.
You
Custard
mean-
apple
you mean-
bangs,
no,
each
you
one
mean-
has a seed.
No, you don't mean seed. You mean pit.
Pit.
Pitted.
Cherry pits. But no,
Pitted.
but Sitafal has seeds. My favorite fruits are shout out mango. Mango's the shit. Also, have you all gotten on tart golas?
Oh,
Ice
yeah,
apple.
yeah.
Yeah,
Bro,
iced apple.
that's nature's candy, bro. That shit
You know, they
is so
ferment
fire.
that shit and set it out.
Alcohol, toddy.
Really quick on the mango front. At some point we're gonna approach like the skincare game in some way, and mangoes is something we've spoken about a lot.
Bad for
When I
skin.
was younger, I used to have really bad skin, and I don't know. It's obviously a myth where it's like mangoes because of the heat or whatever
It is heat producing.
make your
Yeah,
skin
it is.
bad.
Yeah.
And I've just given up mangoes since then, not because of this rumor, but just because I wanted to sacrifice something for my skin. I just don't have mangoes anymore.
Mangoes are amazing.
Mangoes.
And it's mango season
But we
right
will
now.
we will revisit
Genuinely.
skincare at some point in the pod.
Genuinely.
We
So
will.
stay tuned for that.
I think that's a good place to wrap up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do we have anything?
Guys, leave your favorite fruits in the comments.
Yeah, whatever grinds your gears. Fuck it, man. Put your favorite day of the week in the comments if you reach this far. Yeah.
And again, the resources in the description. Please feel free to reach out.
Sid's newsletter. Sign up for that.
Like us, subscribe us, do the whole deal.
Yeah, and thank you for being a part of this conversation and being a part of the community.
And thank you, Blue Tokai. HST BT20. Let's go.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Alright, peace, guys.
Baby girl, I like how you moving. Tarantino vibe, make a movie.